This week in class, we talked about Restoration Theater, which had a lot of changes from the theater that had been happening for years before Restoration Theater began. Now, the playwrights and the actors and the other people who made the costumes and the sets, they didn't have rules that they had had previously. So now that they didn't have any rules, they all went a little bit crazy. So the costumes were big and fancy. They weren't like what people were wearing when they went to parties or went to go visit friends. They were huge, they were colorful, they had lots of beads and necklaces. The wigs were huge. The men wore funny facial hair and silly coats. The actors on stage also started using their voices a lot more to create different sounds. So they were yelling and whispering. They also used their arms and their legs to make big movements on stage. So they moved all across the stage. Now, the playwrights, they started writing about things that they couldn't or wouldn't write about before. They also took plays that had been written previously and rewrote them so they had different endings. Now, my favorite thing that changed during Restoration Theater is that now girls could act on stage. Now, before this, only boys could act. So if there was a part in a play that was a young woman, it was actually played by a young boy. So the young boy would dress up in a dress, he would wear a long wig and makeup. But not anymore. Now girls were allowed on stage too, which was a really different experience for the theater audiences, the people who went to go see the plays. They had never seen girls acting on stage before. During this time, there were also girl playwrights, so girls started writing plays as well. Before then, only boys had written plays, but now girls are writing them too, and they were writing about the same things that the boys were writing about. And sometimes the things they wrote about were a little bit naughty. Now, there's just a little bit about Restoration Theater.